Hello, hello. I got sent a game key. I get sent a fair few of these because I'm that famous off them YouTubes. I usually don't play them, sometimes I do. This is what I'm going to play. It's Antares. Now, there's a story I'm going to have to tell you. As some of you know, I used to make films. Yeah, I worked in the film industry for over 10 years. Hated it. What should I call my AI helper? If you know what that number is. Oh, stat? Stat? Whatever. Yeah, I used to make films, and never ask me questions about films. It's very tiresome. Yes, I've made films that you've seen. Yes, I'm out famous people. It doesn't matter. Not important. Everyone in the film business has done this. You know, it's anyway. But when I was making my first few films with my friends, I remember the very first film we made. We made it for, well, allegedly £150. Truth be told, we never actually kept count, but that's what we said in press releases and things. And when we sat there at the end of it, I remember everyone saying, "Oh, considering the budget we had and the resources we had, it's really good." It wasn't. Is this a little stuttery because it's disguising loading? Yes.
Rapid velocity deceleration detected. Organic life identified and stabilized. Flames under control. Primary function assist master.
I don't like motion blur.
Master. Master shows signs of function.
Maybe. I'm gonna have motion blur. That's better.
The irony of sending something like you to clean up a mess involving the building blocks of life. I like it actually. It's a great metaphor for us as a human race.
What the heck?
Thank you for the AI core you brought with you. It's all I needed to get this facility back to Earth.
Preliminary scans detect non-human life forms. Hostility not yet determined. We need to secure you, Master.
That's what happens when I press right click.
Of operations.
Okay.
Please ensure your systems are fully functional.
That seems a bit sensitive. Anyway, the point is, you know, when we were making films with low budgets, we often used to say, "Oh, it's really good considering the budget and the resources we had." No. No one ever watches a film and thinks, you know, I hated that film. Oh, but considering the resources and budget they had, I really enjoyed that film. It's like, Oh, hello. Oh, I see. Right, nice. Now, I mention that because this is a game written by one guy. And it's very impressive for the fact that it's written by one guy. And I've seen games before where people have talked about how it's impressive because they were made by one person or something. Oh. And I'm always in two minds over this. Because I don't care that it was written by one guy. Oh, test your echo ability. Fire your weapon. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's it. I don't care if it's written by one guy. I care that it's good. But, to be absolutely fair... Oh, it's hold down, it's not toggle. Spend scrap metal and the upgrade station. Yeah, okay. Do I have any? Apparently I do. Interesting. Need resources for all these, but... Neat.
All systems appear to be functional after the crash. In order to pilot this space station, we need to breach the bridge. In your inventory contains a list of objectives we need to accomplish in order to access the bridge. I would suggest getting started on your objectives immediately.
Okay. Recall to base. T. Okay. I mean, it's, I'm a lone guy on a space station. And I'm going to be fighting Gribblies. Right, it's a bit dark. Where are the Gribblies? Come on. Health affected. I'm hearing noises, but I'm not sure where they're coming from. This glitchy stuff's... I can't say I like it very much. But okay. I'm assuming that our fellow behind us...
In order to phase power back into the main core and charge the remaining battery, we need to deactivate the mining systems.
Your mum needs to deactivate the mining systems.
The blueprints found in the mining facility. You need to find them and deactivate them.
These skeletons are a bit... Yeah, I'm not imagining that the fellow who wrote this has created all these models by any means. Some of them are probably off the shelf. But you know, it's alright. I mean, he's kicking skeletons with him. It's alright. The gunplay isn't gripping, but nor is it terrible. Oops. Right, effectively, this is a game that I would buy to encourage the developer to keep making games, if you see what I mean. You know, I don't think it's great, but you know, if this was £5 or something, I don't know how much it's going to be. It comes out at the end of this month. If this is £5, I wouldn't feel ripped off. Currently this is a beta version, I believe. And yeah, to think that one person had the patience to make this, well done to him.
I would strongly recommend not making a noise during the power down cycle. The infested seem to hunt in the dark and would easily overwhelm you.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say. There's things here and there which are not good. That glitching's getting on my nerves. And I don't like the footsteps. Feels to me like there's a lady walking in high heels just behind me. Now, I'm going to play a bit more. And we'll jump ahead and see what I think. Right, so I've played another hour or so. I've actually died a couple of times. Oh, areas of objectives. I'm going to tell you another story from films. I once was in the position where I needed to recruit a crew for a film in a hurry, and we went to some networking, some meetup thing where a bunch of people who are keen to work in film, or who already did, would all get together and I don't know, chat and have opportunities and stuff. Now, something I have to tell you about the film business is you need to be incredibly rude to a lot of people, and I really don't like doing that because I'm naturally very polite. So we went to this film networking meeting, and I had to gather around just big groups of people. So yeah, get over here, I'll tell you the spiel. Right, we're a fully funded film program, blah 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 blah. And then I turned to each of them and said, please tell me why you're of any use to me. Go. And I remember somebody saying, you know, oh, I'm an actor, writer, director, producer. I said, yeah, pass. I said, why? I said, because to be good at any one of those things is hard. To be good at all of them, very rare indeed. Especially at this stage in your career. Just because you don't have the money to hire people to do these roles, and you effectively end up having to do them, that doesn't make you a producer, doesn't make you a writer, doesn't make you an actor, you know, doesn't make you a director. And chuff. Got stuck in a door because the door wouldn't open after the power cycle. That's what happens with these power cycles. That should be a neat mechanic. You know, that every now and then everything goes dark and you have to be very quiet and sneak around. But in reality, it's just frustrating because it doesn't happen in any particularly interesting area. It doesn't happen at an interesting or precarious time, it just happens at random times. So, you know, you could be coming up on a room full of gribblies and then power down. Oh, great. Can't shoot them because that'll make a noise, and then the horde will come. And the horde really is just a bunch more gribblies. So you end up just standing around doing nothing. Anyway. Have I got enough stuff to do a thing? Shield regeneration, don't really care. This is fire damage, that I care. Right, got one. Didn't get two. Well, let's hope that I can actually tell the difference. Because, yeah, I've upgraded that damage 4 or 5 times and I can't tell any difference. If you die, you end up back here. I've been wondering around, I can't even remember. The base of operations for your objective of breaching the bridge. The base of operation. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, yeah, we're trying to recruit a crew in a hurry, and I'm having to be all very blunt, shall we say, with a lot of people. No, not going to explode. And you know, I've basically got to get as many film crew as I can in the course of that evening. And I don't know who's who. I'm in a bit of a hurry. So yeah, that's why I'm just grabbing hordes of people and saying, tell me why you're of any use to me. And one guy took exception to this. Guy comes up to me and says, oh, I won the prize for the best short film here tonight. Because it turned out they were doing some sort of film screenings or something as part of their little event. It's like, nice. And I'd say to him, I don't care. He said, no, but you know, I won the prize for best short film here tonight. I said, well, for starters, I don't want to slow you down in your quest to get home and tell your mum, because she's the only one who will care. See my noise meter in the bottom? Yeah. You know, this improved damage I've got here, I'm not seeing any improvement at all. 2 shots in the head kills a skeleton. Anyway, so yeah, this fella's getting a bit uppity. He's not at all impressed by my rather rude demeanour. Still 2 shots in the head. And in fact, this fella who's taking exception to me, he started to get quite threatening. I said, look, you know, the thing is, you came here without this kind of job. You're leaving here without this kind of job. You've gained and lost nothing. What does it care? What does it matter if you don't like me? What does it matter if I'm not offering you an opportunity? I wasn't doing that, you know, 10 minutes ago. Go off and enjoy your prize. And he's like, no, but I won best short film here tonight. Uh-oh. Well, we survived that. And yeah, this fella's getting very uppity. Now, See, I do not like being rude to people. And I do not like being rude to people in that manner. Just go through here. Yeah, we go. Oh, cheese and crackers. And I had to explain to a grumpy fella, we're making a feature film. We're not making a short film. If the best track record you have is that you've won a short film prize at something like this, I'm very sorry to say that that does not impress me. So I've won best short film at Cannes before. Seriously. And I didn't even bother going to collect the prize. Didn't turn up for the ceremony. Because so what? It's only a short film. And really, when's the last time you saw a short film in a cinema? Have you ever seen a short film in a cinema? Not many people have. There's very little market for short films. There's very little you can do in them. Effectively, they are sort of tech demos. It's a chance for you to show your skills. To show off the fact that, you can use a camera, you can tell a story. That you know which end is up. That you can sort of develop basic characters. And, being able to develop someone's character in, say, a 15-minute short, very hard. You kind of learn to security tunnel. Oh god. Did I? Oh no, another power down cycle. Great. I don't want to suggest that this fella's short film was nothing. I hadn't seen it. I was never going to see it. But if you enter enough film festivals and events and things, you will inevitably win a prize. I've won Best Feature Film at a film festival before for one of my early films that was garbage. Great. So you enter enough things, you'll eventually win a prize. So I sometimes you see certain films on the poster, it's got lots of prizes listed, and they've normally got the sort of laurel wreath thing, which is what Cannes actually uses to denote its prizes, but they've no copyright or trademark on that, so other film festivals like to do it. Or people just list prizes on the cover and draw the laurels around them, so that at first glance you think, oh, that was Cannes does that, or something. It wasn't that big important prize, even if you know nothing. So it's just to trick you into watching a film you wouldn't otherwise have watched. So yeah, I wasn't at all impressed by the fact that he had won a short film prize. Fair play to him. But I've won lots of prizes, most of which I've never even collected, because it's just a prize. If it comes with money, yeah, sure, whatever, send me the money. I don't care for your little trophy, they go straight in the bin. I'm completely lost. I'm sure I've been here before, but with it being so dark it's hard to tell. Anyway, fella is getting all agitated and he actually asked me to step outside for a fight, which I found most amusing. I mean, obviously, I'm originally from Scotland. I've had more than my fair share of violent encounters, or at least encounters that could turn violent. So, I'm not at all scared or impressed by someone threatening me. And I'd say to this fella, look, just go away. You really don't want to fight over this. I don't want to fight over this. I've absolutely no interest in dealing with you like that. And yeah, if you think I'm a rude and unpleasant man, you're absolutely correct. In your encounter with me today, I have been a rude and unpleasant man. And sadly, I felt that was necessary. And quite honestly, if you can't deal with somebody like that, your career in film is going to be very short. That doesn't mean you have to take crap off people. More that you have to, be willing to pick your fights. To know what is worth getting upset over and what is not. And this was not. So I moved on to the next fella. Right, I wasn't alone at this event. My colleague James was with me. And James is a pretty hardcore guy. Afrikaner. I like Afrikaners. So, yeah, it's just this. Just get lost. I moved on to the next guy. And I said to him, where are you of any use to me? He said, oh, I'm a DOP. And I immediately handed him my card and said I'd be very pleased if you'd be willing to meet with me. An uppity guy, he's not taking this. He's like, he just said to you, I'm a DOP. That's it. It's like, yeah. Yep, that's enough. A DOP is a director of photography. Not all films have them. Some do, some don't. And a DOP, effectively they work with the director to design the look of the film. Effectively they're like a very senior cameraman. They will work with the director to sort of design how the film should look, and that's not a small thing. That's a very skilled job, because if you watch, say, a Stanley Kubrick film, he uses very wide lenses. I don't know who his director of photography was, but you watch something like The Shining. I mention this because I saw the ostensible follow-up to The Shining recently, Dr. Sleep. And one of the most notable things about it was the work of the DOP. On Dr. Sleep, he was not using the kind of visual setup that Stanley Kubrick did on the original Shining. So a lot of scenes, just the look of them, feels sort of flat and small. It doesn't have the grand vision. So a DOP is someone who helps with that. He looks at your storyboards. He looks at all the sort of notes you've got. He'll visit locations with you because he's trying to decide what the best way of, photographing them, filming them will be. Oh, back to normal, thank goodness. Just the choices that the DOP makes can greatly affect the atmosphere of the film. Even, discussing how to frame certain shots and all that kind of thing. And this fella has just said to me, I'm a DOP and that's it. And, I sat at home and really hoped he would return my phone call, because that guy, straight away, he absolutely clocked me. He knew exactly what I was, what level I was at, kind of thing, and he knew, he knew how to deal with me. And so uppity guy's saying, hey, how come you talk to him, you won't talk to me? Because he didn't try and impress me. He says, I'm a DOP, that's a specialist role. He doesn't try and say he's a director, producer, he's, and all the rest of it. He didn't tell me how many prizes he's won, and I guarantee he's won prizes. Base of operations for your objective reaching. Well, yep, scrap metal collected. No more scrap metal available. Heal up. And we're back at the upgrade table. Well, I'm not finding any real increase to my damage. And as I'm saying, this fella, he's not taking this. I said, look, have a look at this guy. He looks like he's in his 50s. He's probably got a wife and kids. He is supporting them. So I turned up and said, do you have a wife and kids? He's like, oh yeah. I said, there you go. I said, you're like 20 or something? You're only supporting yourself. Which means you are not really having to make much of a living from the work that you're doing. If you can feed yourself, you're golden. Oh, an audio log. Alright, go on. Oh, didn't play this time. It's like to be a DOP. You've decided you're not trying to be a director, you're not trying to be a producer. You've got a specialist role. Why can't I get through there? Oh. And to make a living doing that, you've got to be good at it. Okay. Will this kill me? No. So, yeah, that's a guy I want to talk to. That's a guy I do want to hear about what he's done. Have I been here? Yes, I have. said, you know, that's why I want to talk to this guy, and that's why I don't want to talk to you. Seriously, go away. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to give you careers advice. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm interested in hiring a crew for my film. So, why'd I tell you that story? Oh, jeez. Because of this game. I've told you that this game was made by one guy. Now, if I hadn't told you this game was made by one guy, if I told you that this game was made by a team of 20 seasoned game professionals, you'd probably think it's not very good. And it isn't very good. It's okay. I mean that, it's okay. And there's no shame in a game being okay. But ultimately, it doesn't matter whether one guy did it or 10 guys did it. If you play this, you'll constantly be reminding yourself of the fact that, hey, it's by one guy. It's really quite impressive. It's like, yes. Yes, it is. But to my mind, he's just made a short film. Now, I'm not working in the film industry anymore. I'm not working in the game industry. That's for darn tootin'. But ultimately, is this the best game he could have made? No, it isn't. But I do have to wonder, oh thank goodness, how many other games he's made. Is this his first try? If so, not bad. I mean, I have actually seen some mods that are more impressive than this. And, you know, the level design leaves a lot to be desired. Most games use some sort of queuing to get you through a level. As in, there are subtle hints of where you ought to be going. And, you know, in some AAA games, it's very heavy-handed. Oh, look at the bright lights over here, you know. Whereas for this game, the only indication I have that I haven't, you know, that I'm going the right way is when I encounter more Gribblies. Right now, I've hardly been here. And so, right now, I'm wandering around going through areas that I must have been through before, getting completely lost, because there's no indication of where I'm supposed to go. Do you mean kinetic? Or do you mean kinesthetic? Well, whatever. Area objective completed. Okay, so I need to get out of this area, and I can't find my way out. Is there a map? Not that I'm aware of. So yeah, as I said at the start of this very much feels like the kind of game where I would buy it just to encourage the developer to make more games. Because this is okay. It's perfectly fine for a while. But if you have to sell it on the fact that it's made by one person, realise that that's not a feature, that's an excuse. And just like my friends, when we first started off making films, they were trying to say, hey, you know, it's pretty good considering the resources we had and all the rest of it. It's like, no. No one cares. You know, how many people worked on The Witcher 3? I've no idea. CD Projekt Red. They're not a AAA studio or anything like that. They're not one of the EAs. So maybe they're a smaller team. I don't know. Knowing that does not make me enjoy the game any more or less. So here I am playing a game by one guy, and it shouldn't make any difference to whether I'm enjoying myself or not. As you can see, the design of the level is somewhat annoying. It's very dark most of the time, which is quite annoying. When you get one of these power down events, it's almost pitch black. Just to remind you, my torch is on. My roof is leaking at the moment, and just before I started playing this, I had to go up to the attic with my torch to check for leaks and to position buckets and things. What fun. And I tell you, in my pitch black attic with no windows, my torch had considerably more impact on my surroundings than this one does. Oh, here's a little special film insiders thing for you that most people don't know. Oh, nuts. Whenever you see torches in films, they're actually a special kind of torch. If you... Yeah. It's a lot brighter than this in my attic. When you try and use a normal torch on film, it will barely illuminate anything. You'll barely be able to see anything. You certainly won't see the torch. So when you see people running around with torches with beams that cut through the darkness, and you can actually see the beam of the torch, not just the spot that it's projecting. Yeah, those are her specialist film torches. They show up on camera. They look cool. Oh, right, I see. This is my base of operations. Gotcha. Is this a place I haven't been? I don't know. Oh, living quarters, area objective completed. Right, okay, this is making more sense now. So it's kind of telling me each of these is an interconnected area. Shut off the mining systems. This is the first place I came, isn't it? Really? Was I that noisy? Come at me, bro. Oh. Does that mean they're not coming anymore? I don't know what my companion droid is for, or why I named him. Yeah, so whenever you see a film and you see a torch in it, that's a specialist torch, very high power. They burn through batteries at a tremendous rate. You have to get them from a film supply company. How fascinating. Now, I say this game isn't terrible. It's definitely lacking in polish. That's fine. It's not the prettiest graphics in the world. Seems weird that I can't aim down sights in this day and age. That's alright too. I'm fine with that. I don't require games to be graphically amazing. This is graphically adequate. And he's done well in choosing like a space station or something, because effectively it means lots of big empty areas and sort of blank flat corridors. Tungsten carbide with an E. Not that it matters. Power breaker. Ah, there we go. Objective completed. Hurrah. But yeah, the basic nature of the graphics is quite well suited to this kind of thing. There's a reason why when you played Doom back in the day, it looked the way it did. So can't open those doors. You know, you can adequately simulate a space station with that lovely graphics. Trying to simulate a meadow or a pleasant field, quite a lot more difficult. So, yeah, fine. But there's lots of little things that niggle. Like I have a shield, and you know I have health beyond that. There is no real indication to me when my shield has been diminished, other than glancing down at the bar in the corner. You would expect some kind of visual cue. I have to say the audio logs, some of the voice acting on those is quite good. Not amazing, but quite good. Well done to him. He got some good people to do those, and he gave them adequate direction. Oh, can I? Kind of. Yeah, see, I've grown to dislike these power-down cycles. Deactivate system-wide quarantine. Yeah, if you insist. I mean, these are brightly lit areas. It's a power-down thing. He hasn't turned off the lights. He's applied an effect to the graphics. Kind of blinded here. Ah, brilliant. So yeah, I'm not impressed by this game, but I am amused by it, and I am interested in it. I think, probably done alright. And judging by the fact that one of the things I keep picking up is called Ryanite, I'm guessing his name's Ryan. Hello, Super Gribbly. Oh, it's a fourth kind. Jeez. So there you go. That, for what it's worth, is my opinion of this. I want to see more from Ryan. Right, I'm going to leave it here. I mean, don't take this as being a big negative. I am amused by this. I'm still playing. But this is a game that, if I do make it to the end, and I might not, I certainly won't be playing it ever again. I'm sick to death of shitting skeletons. there's a chum who wants to talk to me. So yeah, this is exactly where I'm going to leave it. Oh yeah, no, I keep forgetting to use my echo power. Oops. Hiya. Tungsten carbide drills. Ta-ra.